So it is official. Lewandowski has officially announced that he will leave FC Barcelona at the end of the season. The fact that Lewandowski is leaving by the end of this season, it means that yes, Barcelona are going to be losing a player. They're going to be witnessing a contract expiring as well, and a big contract, meaning their wage bill is going to reduce massively, which we are going to be talking about later in this video. But it is much more than this, right? It is not just about Lewandowski leaving FC Barcelona. We have to recognize what's going on here. This is the official end of the first true post-Messi attacking era at FC Barcelona. And for the first time, besides Hoffenheim, Hansi Flick has to coach a club where he does not have Lewandowski as the number 9. So how is Hansi Flick going to respond? What is he going to do? Is he even going to bring the results? It's a very fascinating statistic, and it is going to be a fresh new challenge for Flick. Who is going to be his next great number 9 that he can mentor? So before we go further into this video, I also want to shout out to all of the brand new members that have joined over the past few days. Shout out to El Poito Sir 1067, shout out to Cheyenne, shout out to Jean Mark Trump 297, Giovanni Canuto 3955, shout out to Wanda Ganili, and shout out to King Kunta. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I hope you guys do enjoy the new membership group. It's going to be a lot of fun in there. We're going to be talking about many other different things that I don't post on the public channel. And for those of you guys who have yet to join, please join. I think that you guys will find it very fun. It's going to be very valuable as well. I'll be posting around 4 to 5 different videos every week. And of course, you do also end up supporting this YouTube channel. But let's do this, right? So let's talk about Lewandowski and the impact that he has left at this club and what that means for the future of Hansi Flick's Barcelona. Because Lewandowski did become Barcelona's scoring reference, the dressing room leader, the stabilizer when Barcelona were going through chaos. And he was one of the faces of Barcelona's return to winning again. So his exit is a mix of multitude of things. Like, it is an emotional exit. It is a tactical exit, right? We have to think about how do we structure our attack without Lewandowski. It is also a financial exit. The wage bill is going to reduce massively, and it's also very symbolic. Lewandowski did say this on social media, and I quote, "After 4 years full of challenges and hard work, it's time to move on. I leave with the feeling that the mission is complete. Catalonia is my place on earth. Barcelona is back where it does belong." And that last line, my friends, is what really matters, because I do think that Lewandowski has viewed this whole thing as, this is a mission and this was my Barcelona mission, and that mission was all about helping restore the club after the collapse of the post-Messi years. And in many ways he did succeed. Like, Lewandowski came in the summer of 2022 when Barcelona were in a financial ruin. Sportingly, they were a mess. Like, what top number 9 back then thought about joining FC Barcelona at that time? Like, nobody. Lewandowski did not need to do this. Lewandowski did not need to join FC Barcelona. He had everything at Bayern Munich. Lewandowski's last season at Bayern, he played 46 matches, scored 50 goals, and provided 6 assists. I remind you guys, 50 goals and 6 assists in his last season with Bayern, and he decided to leave Bayern Munich and join FC Barcelona. He had everything. He could have taken the easiest route and just say, I'm just going to continue at Bayern because this is where I can get the best form out of myself and win many trophies. But no, he humbled himself and he joined FC Barcelona because he wanted the challenge, and he cared about the club. He wanted the club to rise back to where it's supposed to be, and that is exactly where Barcelona is today. Barcelona is a competing club that can compete against the top teams in Europe and also domestically. Lewandowski has left a legacy with 190 matches played, 119 goals scored, 24 assists, and a total of 143 goal contributions. It's crazy. He also won 3 league titles in 4 seasons, 1 Copa del Rey, and 3 Spanish Super Cups. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a shame that Lewandowski has to leave this season. I mean, like, yes, there is some pros, but there's also some cons. I mean, his numbers are not even that bad. Even at the age of 37 years old, he still provided 18 goals and 2 assists in 44 matches. It's pretty decent, and I think that is the reason why Barcelona wanted Lewandowski for another season, but on lower wages and take more of a backup role. But unfortunately, those terms were not agreed by Lewandowski. I think that Lewandowski wants to continue to play competitive and consistent football, and so it is what it is. It's okay. It's fine with me. Another thing, it's also pretty sad to see that we are now seeing the last few days of the Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Lamine Yamal era. I mean, the trio's already done because Lamine Yamal is not going to be returning, but the fact that our squad is no longer going to contain Lewandowski, Yamal, and Rafinha anymore is crazy, because I think that they also together left a legacy at FC Barcelona and is part of the reason why Barcelona became competitive again. In their best season, they had many goal contributions, and I would say their 2024-2025 season, it was their best season. Lewandowski scored 42 goals and provided 3 assists. Lamine Yamal scored 18 goals and provided 21 assists, and then Rafinha had 34 goals and 122 assists. That is a combined total of 94 goals and 46 assists, amounting to 140 goal contributions. Once again, all thanks to Lewandowski and his leadership, making Lamine Yamal and Rafinha work with him, gel with him, and build that synergy in the attack. That season was historic. Nobody in the world could have predicted what Barcelona were going to do in that season. And as a matter of fact, I would like to compare this trio and their best season to the MSN and their best season, which was back in the 2014-2015 season. In that season for the MSN, Messi had 58 goals and 25 assists. Neymar had 39 goals and 7 assists. And then we have Suarez with 25 goals and 20 assists. Many might argue that the 2015-2016 season might have been better for the MSN, but I would just say that in their first season, it was their best. Suarez, yes, his goals were way better in his second season, but all in all, Messi and Neymar were also in their primes under Luis Enrique's first year. But in total, the MSN scored 122 goals and 52 assists, amounting to 174 goal contributions, which is really only 34 goal contributions more than the Lewandowski, Yamal, and Rafinha partnership. We also have to keep in mind that Lewandowski was 36 at the time. Lamine Yamal was barely coming up, only 17 or 18 years old, and Rafinha was not even considered as a quote-unquote true Brazilian player. Like, who would have thought that Rafinha could produce this many goals and this many assists? But Hansi Flick put Rafinha in a position where he was able to show his strengths, and that is why I would say that this trio that we saw last season went toe-to-toe with the MSN, and Messi was at his prime, Neymar was at his prime, Suarez the same thing, coming off from a very amazing season at Liverpool. But this is where the story does become very massive strategically, because the fact that Lewandowski is leaving, it does free up a total of 24 million euros in salary space, and this changes everything for the club. Let's remember that Barcelona's wage bill has been restricted for many years, and with Lewandowski's departure, that does lower the financial pressure. It improves the registration flexibility. We can sign the players that we do want. So there is a trade-off here. Barcelona, yes, lose goals, the veteranship, but they gain the financial breathing room and the market flexibility. So I think that this is now putting us in a position where we have to say, okay, how is Barcelona going to respond now, right? Like, they have been given the financial flexibility in the wage bill. How are you going to improve your attack? How are you going to reinforce the number 9 position? And I'm not going to lie to you guys, Barcelona need to sign a new striker, but replacing 42 goals, the penalty box intelligence, the movement, the reliability, that's a very hard thing to replace in football. Like I've said, there is going to be many videos that is going to get posted on the membership group tab. So I'm going to be talking about Joao Pedro, a player that is going to be playing up against Manchester City, or he has already played by this point. I don't know when I'm going to be posting this video, but I'm going to be talking about Joao Pedro's performance against Manchester City in the membership tab, because we have to analyze, we have to scout, we have to see which striker best suits FC Barcelona. And we're going to be starting with Joao Pedro. Of course, we're also going to be talking about Julian Alvarez. We're going to be talking about Osimhen and other alternatives. It's going to be very exciting. I hope I can see you guys there. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.